Did you know that a fantasy hair color could be damaging your hair more than you imagine? And without you even realizing it, today I'm going to show you the 5 most common mistakes women over 50 make when choosing these shades. Stay until the end, because the last mistake is not only damaging your hair, but also your elegance, and I'm going to teach you how to avoid it and keep your style both elegant and healthy. Mistake number 5. Using very saturated colors without balance. Let's start with something that has long been a temptation for many. Queen, I know that one thing you've always wanted, but never dared to do is dye your hair in a fantasy color. Or maybe you tried it, but it didn't turn out the way you expected. At our age, after having lived through so many experiences, we know this is the perfect moment to do the things we've always wanted, because we don't know if tomorrow we'll get another chance. This is your moment, and you deserve to feel free to express yourself with the color that makes you feel as amazing as you truly are. When you decide to change up your hair, vibrant colors like hot pink, blue, fantasy red, or green can be irresistible. They're cheerful, bold, and full of energy. They make you feel young and full of life. But as our skin matures, the key is to find balance. Because these saturated colors don't always look the same on our skin once we've gained more life experience and wisdom. Picture this gorgeous. You choose a stunning, bright fantasy shade. At first, you feel incredible, rejuvenated, full of energy, and that color reflects your whole essence. But as the days go by, you start noticing that while the color is still beautiful, the intensity isn't as flattering to your skin anymore. That doesn't mean you have to give up vibrant colors, but you do need to learn how to balance them. If you decide to go for a bright fantasy shade, one way to avoid overloading your look is to go for soft, natural makeup that complements the hair color without competing with it. A great way to do this is with makeup in warm browns, golds, and bronzes, which add a touch of light without stealing the spotlight from your hair color. For lips, nude, soft pink, or peach tones are perfect to keep harmony without overloading the look. If you want to add some freshness, a touch of pink blush can be ideal to bring life to your face without making your makeup the main attraction. The trick is to let your hair color remain the center of attention, while your makeup subtly and elegantly enhances your natural beauty. When you pair fantasy hair color with the wrong makeup, you can end up looking dull, lifeless, or even overly done. Remember, the idea of having bold hair isn't to make your face disappear. It's to give you the chance to experience a new stage, something beautiful and colorful. In life, there's a time for everything, and this is yours, with modern fresh hair colors that add a youthful touch without creating such a harsh contrast. Plus, they're much easier to maintain. These tones soften and harmonize with your skin, enhancing your beauty without letting the color take over the entire focus. And the next mistake is even more revealing. But before we continue, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss tips and advice that will elevate your elegance with grace. Mistake number 4. Applying color over a poorly bleached base. One of the most common mistakes with fantasy colors is not properly preparing the base before applying the color. And I get it, my love, when we're excited about a radical change, it's tempting to skip a few steps. But bleaching is essential for a fantasy color to look vibrant and last. Before bleaching, there are a few steps you need to follow. First, make sure your hair is in good condition. If your mane is too damaged or brittle, bleaching can make things worse, leaving it fragile, over-processed, and looking like overcooked spaghetti. That doesn't mean you have to wait forever, but you should make sure your hair is hydrated and strengthened before doing anything. Giving your hair a break with a repairing mask or a deep hydration treatment with oils a few days before bleaching can be very helpful. And when you do decide to bleach, remember, it needs to be gradual. Don't rush it. It's not about going platinum blonde right away unless that's your goal. It's about getting a light enough base so the fantasy color can adhere properly. If your hair is dark, you might need to bleach in several sessions, depending on how light you want it. Picture this, darling. You decide to go for a gorgeous violet lavender shade, but when you look in the mirror, it's not as bright as you imagined. Maybe it looks dull or has a grayish or greenish tint. That happens because the base wasn't prepared well enough. If you don't bleach properly, the color won't adhere correctly and you won't get that vibrant result you wanted. The key here is good preparation, and that means making sure your hair is light enough, whether through bleaching or thanks to your beautiful silver strands, so the color really pops. You don't need to go platinum blonde, but it's essential to have a light, even base for the fantasy shade to shine. Make sure your hair is completely free of build-up and very clean before starting the bleaching process. Residue from previous products can interfere with bleaching, which means the color won't stick properly. If possible, do a small strand test to see how the color will look on your specific hair type. Remember, Queen, patience is your best ally. Taking the time to do everything correctly will ensure that your color not only looks fabulous but also lasts longer and doesn't damage your hair. With a well-prepared base, you'll get that vibrant shade you've been dreaming of, and your hair will look healthy, shiny, and full of life. Are you enjoying these tips? Then don't miss my ebook, More Elegant Than Ever. It's a complete handbook to help you refresh your image. Link in the description. Mistake number 3. Choosing a fantasy hair color that is too bright. It's completely natural to feel drawn to bright colors. They're bold, vibrant, and give us a sense of energy and youth. They can even seem like the perfect choice when we're looking for a radical change. However, when you have mature skin, those ultra-bright colors may not be as flattering as you expected, and here's why. At first, you might feel absolutely amazing with your new hair color. A neon pink, for example, can feel exciting and fresh, something that instantly stands out. But after a while, you realize the contrast between the color and your skin is stronger than you imagined. Bright colors, while beautiful, can create a visual clash with your face, especially when mature skin loses some of its natural radiance, making your features appear dull or drawing attention to imperfections you normally wouldn't notice. But it's not just that. Queen, I know, changes can sometimes feel overwhelming or even scary. This is when we have to remember that while bright colors are fun, they can be more challenging to manage and maintain. Now, if it's your first time going for a fantasy color, or if you feel it might be too much work, there are equally beautiful alternatives that complement mature skin wonderfully without creating that harsh contrast. One of my favorites is keeping your natural shade or your silver hair and adding some highlights, streaks of color, or just coloring the tips. Another option is to explore shades in the same color family but in more traditional tones. This way, if you've never worn it before, you can get an idea of how it will look, and it's easier to remove if you don't like the result. For example, deep burgundy is a fantastic choice for those who want a vibrant shade, but something softer than fantasy red. Blue-black, on the other hand, is an incredibly elegant choice if you want to explore blue tones. It's deep and shiny, yet keeps an air of mystery and sophistication. Ideal for those who want a dramatic look without losing harmony with their skin. This tone also has a special shine under the light, giving a fresh, modern appearance. You can always keep experimenting with vibrant, modern shades, but the important thing is to choose one that enhances your natural beauty without creating a visual clash. Highlight streaks are an easy-to-maintain option, require less processing, and if you don't like them, you won't have gone through a complicated process. No matter what you choose, the key is that it makes you feel comfortable, confident, and beautiful. But the next mistake could be affecting your elegance more than you think. Mistake number 2. Neglecting color maintenance. A very common mistake we make when choosing a fantasy color is thinking that once the color is in the hair, there's nothing else to do. But Queen, fantasy colors, depending on the finish, require more care than many people think. It's not enough to dye it once and expect it to stay perfect forever. Vibrant colours, especially those applied over a bleached base, are much more delicate and tend to fade quickly if we don't give them the right maintenance. It's completely natural for the colour to lose intensity over time, but this can be accelerated by the products we use, sun exposure, or even how often we wash our hair. Think about this, beautiful. You have a gorgeous pink tone. When you first got it, it was radiant and full of life. But after a few weeks, the colour starts to lose its intensity. That vibrant shine fades and instead it looks dull. Frustrating, right? But don't worry, there's a solution. The first thing you should do is choose products designed to keep your colour at its best. Using sulfate-free shampoos and conditioners is a great start. Sulfates are strong cleansers that, while removing dirt, also strip colour much faster than you'd like. Opt for gentle products that won't affect colour intensity and that will also hydrate and protect your hair. And when it comes to maintaining fantasy colour, we can't forget tinted shampoos and conditioners. These products are specially formulated to help extend the life of your colour. If you've chosen a fantasy shade like lavender blue or fuchsia, tinted shampoos are an excellent option to refresh your tone between applications and prevent it from fading too quickly. Maintenance doesn't have to be complicated or expensive, but it is necessary if you want to enjoy that fantastic colour for longer. Remember, hair needs special care when it has a vibrant shade. With these small adjustments, your colour will not only look spectacular, but also make you feel fabulous and confident. If you thought this was the biggest mistake, get ready, because the next one will surprise you even more. Mistake number 1, not considering your skin tone when choosing a colour. Dear Queen, choosing your hair colour is an act of self-love. We know the excitement of making a change and trying something new can be irresistible, but many times we fall into the mistake of picking a colour that doesn't harmonise with our skin tone. This can happen when we don't consider how our hair colour complements, or doesn't, our natural complexion. The truth is that when we choose the right colour, not only does our hair look gorgeous, but our skin also lights up, and we feel more confident and radiant. Mature skin like yours has a unique beauty. As we grow older, the skin changes. It can become warmer, less luminous, or develop cooler undertones. These changes are completely natural, but it's important to understand how they affect the final result when we go for a new hair colour. For example, if you have warm or deep skin tones with golden undertones, colours like violet, green and red will make your skin glow. These colours help bring out the natural undertones in your face, adding life and freshness. They make you look more radiant and vibrant because, just like your skin, they are deep, rich and full of vitality. On the other hand, choosing a colour that's too light, like pink, can make you look tired, drained, or even unwell. It can highlight imperfections in your skin that aren't really there. And that's not what we want when we change our look. If you have cooler skin with pink or blue undertones, cooler shades like pink, lilac, and blue are perfect for bringing out your best features. These colours complement cool skin tones beautifully and help you maintain a harmonious, elegant image. But if you choose very intense shades like strong red, your skin tone will compete with your hair, making your features appear harsher and dimming your natural glow. The mistake of not considering skin tone when choosing a colour can make the final result fail to enhance your natural beauty and even cause your hair colour to compete with your face instead of complementing it. Choosing the right colour is just as important as feeling at peace with your image, because at the end of the day, what we're looking for is to feel beautiful, confident, and comfortable with ourselves. If you made it this far, drop a "I love my hair" in the comments so I know you're part of our community of women who shine from within. What you learned today is just the beginning. My ebook, More Elegant Than Ever, will show you how to dress for your body type, choose your best colours, and so much more. The link's in the description. And only the first ones to grab it will get all the exclusive content, because you deserve to look like a queen.